Okay, what is making that fucking noise? Honestly. Okay, it's not that. What drives me mental? This is a lovely nib. They're all lovely. Well, not all. Many are lovely. This is a great little nib. Okay, the pen is ugly. A little worn, some teeth marks. But god damn it, this nib is great. You show me a modern pen, any modern pen, I don't care which one it is, made today that writes better than this one. Fine line, slight flexible, nice smooth. Nice smooth line it makes. Yay. Bring that to California with me. What about this one? Can I bring this to California with me? This is a very stiff nib on this one. I'm going to bring this one with me. Why doesn't it want to write that way? What's the issue with this thing? Writes upside down, doesn't write right side up. It's very strange. It's almost like it doesn't have a slit in the nib. Does it have a slit in the nib? No, this is not a loop. This is a loop. Kind of. Very weird. What is wrong with this nib? It is functional. Maybe it just had dried ink in the tines. Maybe that was it. That's what it was. Dried ink in the tines. Now, this pen, on the other hand, there. I'll bring this one too. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to try to do hundreds of drawings on my way to California and while I'm in California. And the drawings might just be this big. Maybe I'll do 100 little drawings like this size of the palm trees blowing in the wind. Is that what palm trees look like? I'm sort of looking forward to palm trees. And then when I'm done drawing the 100, I may then get my little camera app out to do some stop action movie animation. And you'll just see this sort of sparkly isn't the right word. Sort of just, well, sparkly, I'll use that word, where it goes from one to the other and it'll just variations, little tiny variations you'll see, or big variations. And, I'll just do one right now. I'll just do it right now. Like, why not? Why can't I just show you what I'm going to do? Except I'm going to actually look at these things. I don't know whether can I zoom in this close? I'll find out in 1 second. So let's make four frames in this movie, this animation. One of my pen collector friends from Boston is a cinematographer in Hollywood. And I'm sure that he's laughing out loud when he will laugh out loud when he sees these things. Hello, Will Hodge. He'll say, using all the technical, he's also someone who writes me an email or a text and there's a word that I've never heard of before. So I have to get out my little dictionary, take a look at what it means. It's crazy. God, you're up late, Will Hodge. Okay, open OSnap. Okay, make new project. Home. Square. Done. Create. Start shooting. So here I've got my app. Here I've got my drawings. 1, 2, so I'm just sort of randomly going from one to the other here. Okay, let's see how this beautiful movie works. How do we make it go? Play. Frames per second. Move it down a little bit. So that's sort of what it might look like. Except when I'm drawing an actual palm tree, I want to draw the fronds moving in a logical way. Here I'm just making them all up. But it gave me the test I needed to know. Let's just try this again. God. Okay, let's see. Can I get this thing in focus using a square? Where is it? Open OSnap. How do I make it go? Stop. Shoot. Okay. Is this in focus? No. Is this in focus if I do this? Play. Okay. Fuck! What is making that squeak? Where is it coming from? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my bones squeaking. Is that it? Could that be it? Okay, is it this? No. Fuck. I don't know what it is. I don't fucking give a shit anymore. Okay, I do give a shit. I don't know what it is. So anyway, you're up late, Will Hodge. What have you been doing up late? What are you up late for? Can't sleep or don't want to sleep? It's a lovely Schaefer. It's really, really fine. If I were to hand this to 9 out of 10 people, they'd say, "Oh, it's so scratchy." No, they wouldn't say that. "Oh, it's too fine," they'd say. But it's fine. It's good. It's a good pen. Beautiful pen. So I'll take this with me. Maybe I'll do drawings. I'm planning on doing drawings on the airplane. Rather than using my iPad, I may use my pens and just figure out what I'm going to draw there. I don't know. Figure it out. Take this with me. What about this one? What about this Schaefer? I'm going to take this one with me. It's very similar to the one I just used in terms of the line it makes. Except it's a little bit more flexible. So I'm going to take this one too. It's going to be fun to do lots of little tiny drawings. I hope. I'm also going to be drawing models, I think, when I'm at the Tom of Finland Foundation. Okay, where's my loop? Yeah, it'll be nice to get away. It'll be nice to, I mean, this is sort of an experiment for me. I'm trying to learn how to travel and that I can travel. Hopefully I will be able to travel without trauma. I'm hoping that I had to get a new bank card yesterday because my bank emailed me saying that I had fraudulent use on my card. And I'm hoping it's fraudulent because I got a new card. But it was one of those things where I didn't recognize it was a $20 withdrawal to a particular company, but it was made after I was asleep in bed, or I was in bed anyway. But I played these stupid games on the iPhone, and when I was asleep, could I have rolled over and pressed add to shopping cart and pressed buy? I don't think I can do that accidentally. I think I have to actually jump through lots of hoops. Password for Apple Pay or whatever it is I might have. I can't just do it accidentally. So, but I do have some things that are automatically withdrawn for my internet and things like that. So I just hope that wasn't part of the trauma. This is a really nice pen too. The thing that bothers me about this one is just a little tiny bit loose in the section. Often what one does is just add a little bit of shellac on the outside of the section, let it dry just so there's just a little tiny bit more surface area that makes the friction fit better. And sometimes people put a little piece of tape or a little piece of paper. Okay, it really bothers me, this little squeak. So I'm going to try a little bit of this on it. John, it says. John Hohlun, Hohuln. Yeah, it will be cool. Hohuln, Hohom, Homulin. What a weird name. Or is it Moho? Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Anyway, another nice pen. Good for sketching, good for writing, good for really anything. Except that does bother me. Just a little tiny bit of jiggle bothers me. It's like a little loose tooth. So I'll try the little piece of paper thing. Should I try that? God, fuck. just leave it. Okay, what else can I do? This nib is really a nice nib. Where can this go? Fuck. What is wrong with this? It's not this. This does not squeak. It's my chair that squeaks somehow. But it doesn't squeak when I test it. It squeaks when I'm not testing it. Here's a salts pen, a matchbook, and a coin filler. Match and coin filler. Really nice nib. Put a sack in it. No, it has a sack in it already. Bring this with me. It's kind of a fragile nib, though. You really have to be careful with this one. It goes really fat, really fast, but it's very wet. This one you have to sort of pay attention to what you're doing. I must always come back home from a pen show with more pens than I go with. That's just how I'm built. I'm always returning home with more. This pen smells funny. Waterman used weird smelling plastics in their final days. Another really moppy little nib. This is a pen that's sort of fun to hold in your hand like this without just, my eye is just focused on these little marks I'm making. One thing I want to do maybe is to print up a card, which I might do, and it's going to look something like this. It'll look something like this, except it'll be pretty. Your pen, blah, was manufactured by the Blah Company of Blah of Wisconsin in the year blah. Pen's nib is the following range, from the thin line to the thick downstroke. And on the back, it won't have this because doesn't, I mean, it got Good Service Pen. I have a Good Service Pen Company email. I don't even fucking know that I had that. Who knew? Who knew that I had that? I guess I must somewhere. But what I do at the your pen, gold, Phil Willwright, manufactured, I don't even know what this company was made, question mark, in the year, question mark, 1920s. But following from range, from this thin line to the thick line. So that way people will know if you press down more than that, you'll break it. And learn by lifting up on the pen that you can be just whisper quiet, whisper pen. And but what I might do rather than this, I might do a card that maybe I'll design that today, which will have, you know, maybe 2 frames made to look like fancy paintings. And then I'll do a quick little drawing here and a fat little drawing here with a little caption. And then PierGustafson.com or whatever I write down here. And the point is, or I might do something else completely different. I'll have a card like this. Pier has a pen. Pier has a pen for sale that can make a line going from here to here. And then give this piece of paper that will have a lot of blank area on it. And the customer can go all around the pen show and try to find another pen that can do this to this. And if they can find it, they can buy it from them. If they can't find it, then they can come back to me. But I would no more be able to count the pens I have than it is for someone to count the stars in the heavens. Because a lot of the pens I have they may not be entirely complete. Some might be missing a nib because I haven't put them back together. I haven't put the nib in it. So anyway, I don't know how to, I wouldn't know how to do that accurately. I mean, I could take every pen and G-Foot. What a cool name. Part of the reason that I don't physically know my inventory is, yes, I have lots of pens in my collection and I forget about a bunch of them. But I also have lots of pens in my repair to sell bin. And those, it changes. This pen might be in my for sale bin and it might end up in my pocket for a long while, and then it may end up in my collection, or it may end up, let's see if I can make this one look prettier. It's a Eversharp, whatever this is called, Symphony pen. Somewhere I have Simichrome. Take a little bit of Simichrome out, put on the barrel. See if I can make this one look nicer by polishing it up. This is something I do not do normally. I've got a lot of pens that I'm bringing that could use Simichrome. Someone could do this themselves, and they'll use the fancy polisher that will make black hard rubber get black again. I don't have time for that. It adds $10 to the price of the pen if I'm going to have to clean it up for you. Look at that. All that debris is off the pen now. Now I can sell it for a lot more than I could before. Look at that shiny pen. Now this one did have a lot of sort of crud on it. Does this have does have a sack in it. It's very flexible. Bring that with me. This is the very first pen I ever bought from the company I now own was one of these except it was in burgundy. And it had a beautiful, beautiful point on it. And a Wahl Eversharp Symphony pen with a really nice rubbery nib. Yeah, it was a Sheaffer pen, but it was and it was a pen that the pen repair shop wasn't ever going to sell. They just used it as a sample of how to the how big the thing would be and whether everything was lined up and spelled right. The Namograph, that wasn't quite a Namograph machine, but it was a machine that would you could typeset a name and then you put it in this press that would heat up, and the type would get heated, and then you press it down onto the pen and your name would be engraved, heat sunk into it. This is a lovely nib too. The pen has had trauma to it. It's a Yankee pen, but someone's name was engraved there, and the new owner decided they didn't want to have that name there, so they got out their jackknife and they just scraped it off, whittled it off, and that's kind of charming. So, but this has a nice nib and has a sack in it. Look at this, and I can this one. Look at that, port and starboard. Maybe I should sell this as a set, or should I just keep it? This is missing some of its iridium. Half the fucking nib is gone. How the hell did that happen? Oh well. Yeah, it is like that. I mean, this could have been someone's spouse's pen, and they left with the lawnmower guy. What did the lawnmower guy have that I don't have? Yeah. He had washboard abs and muscles, and he had all his teeth. But what did he have that I didn't have? Oh, and he had a motorcycle and sense of humor. Anyway, I'll take that. Should I keep this one? Should I just keep this as a set for myself? Why not? I'll just keep this for myself. See, I'm my best customer. Take out the broken nib. This is just weird. That I find a pen. Look at how bad this nib is. It's just everything about it is fucked. But I'll look. See, there's another part of the gold. See, this is gold. I have to put that in my broken nib. It's a piece of actual gold. So now, look, I just bought 2 pens for myself. Take this off. And again, why am I getting this one? I just like the port and starboard green and red. Okay. Things on top. Okay, this is going to have to be soaked. Oh, it's kind of fun. So we'll just keep those. When I was home in Minneapolis or Minnesota one summer, we were going to go out on the pontoon boat, and the pontoon boat's running lights were not working. The port and starboard green and red lights were not functional, and it was going to be a nighttime trip. And I said, well, I'll be the lights. So here's the pontoon boat from the bow. Here's the pontoons. Here's the water. Here's the canopy on top with the fringe. Didn't have fringe. It did have a stern light. My brother was driving. Other people were in the boat drinking or doing whatever they're doing. And here I am at the bow. So there's a little platform looking down on the top. Here's the roof, the surrey, and then there's seating here where you can be in the sun. And there's the motor here. And then there's this little railing, and I'm sitting right here. I think I'm sitting on a chair. So here I am. I had a steamer blanket on me, a blanket because it was kind of chilly. And I'm holding two iPads. And one of them is all red and one of them is all green. So I was the running lights. Let's see if I can find that picture, because it was kind of cute. Look, I found it. Here I am. I thought that was a pretty good use of iPads. Yes, that part of it was illegal. You don't want to sit on the bow because you could easily get, oh, I made a little fascinator that also looked like running lights. This I made for Christmas decoration or Christmas hat. The black part went around my head, and then I had these little green and red things, and then in the back was a white spiky thing. So that became kind of a hat. But anyway, so now look what I can do. I can hold these up in front of the pontoon boat next time. Now, why is this one here? Was I going to try to sell this pen? And that's why I soaked it. It's a beautiful Schaefer. Very smooth. I think I selected this to sell, so I'll put it back in the thing. Yeah, the lights on the pith helmet could work. Yes. But I thought the iPads was the perfect way to do it, because I had two iPads. Really sweet nib on this thing. Let's see if I can bring that to California with me. This is a sweet pen. I'm glad I got out the Simichrome to polish this up because it actually is quite a lovely pen. Maybe I should keep this one too. There's a slight little taper, little warp that happens with these pens. Really nice nib on this thing though. Really rubbery. This is one that Dr. C will like. Trying to plug my device in here because its power is going down. I don't quite know what is this box all about. These are all these kind of pens. This is a manifold nib. Very firm. Well, I know I'm bad that way. I tinker and I buy. Another really yummy nib here. Should I fix this one for me? It doesn't fit. Here's the cap that fits on this one. These all have the... Okay. Why is it squeaking? Where's my oil can? Oil can! Okay, here's another one of those pens. The ones I just decided I was going to keep for myself. This one has a very different kind of a nib. This one is... What's nice about these pens, or many of these Eversharp pens, is you can almost apply pressure regardless of where you're aiming it. It's just really, they have really nice rounded nibs, and they're so strong that I feel there's not a fragility to them. They're really, really good. So I'm going to bring this one too. See, this one, you can see how warped this one is. That's very common in these pens. So to find one that isn't warped at all, this one might have just a little tiny slight one. Okay, put that over here. One has a big band, one has a little band. Should I swap this one? Do that. Look at that. Does this fit? The reason I'm doing this, I'll remember this has the wider range. This goes from thin to thick, a wide range, and then this one has a narrower range. So that's how I'll remember these two. Perfect. Okay, next. Another Waterman number 2. Another great nib. Bring that along. These are all pens I would be happy to own and happy to write with and happy to draw with. They are all just beautiful. What's wrong with this pen? Well, I'm glad you asked. The cap is not as well used as the barrel. Let me just see if I can find a cap that is a little bit more worn. See, this cap, is this even, is this smooth? Maybe this is smooth. Maybe that's the one that fits on it. No, this does have a pattern on it, so this does need a pattern. It's almost smooth, but it does have a pattern on it, so I'll put a pattern thing on it. This one has a pattern. Some of them are really, the pattern is so beautifully worn that the, ooh, this is a nice nib. Really prickly fine. I'm going to carry on the airplane all of the pens that I'm bringing. I'm not going to check the pens. I mean, most people that go to a pen show, they bring suitcases full of pens. So they do have to do a carry-on. I'm hearing, now it sounds like my computer is going on and off. It's that chimes that the Mac has that sounds like my computer is just, God, this is a great nib. Really, really prickly fine and somewhat flexible. Another pen that I would be happy to use. I think that's a train in the background. I think that's what I'm hearing. I have one stop, and it's in New Jersey. I go from Boston to Newark, and then from there to LA. Which will be fun. Happy to do that. matches the one I just fixed. Oh, it doesn't screw on. Hate when that happens. Really nice nib on that one. Okay, I need to put my clothes on and get to work here. See you later, Will. Nice seeing you. Bye.